Before the college entrance exam, Kelly, the class darling, said she was going to use a stealing points system to bind the entire class together. Wow, I'm stupid. I'm sure I won't do well in the college entrance examination. But you are different from me. You are all top students who scored 600 or 700 points. If each of you gives me 10 points, I can get into the same school as you, and then I will still be your little darling. However, the way the system takes effect is a bit harsh. It must be agreed by all 30 people in the class. The idea of asking for people's scores was outrageous, but the students happily accepted the binding of the system. In my previous life, I didn't want to damage my classmates' future, so I rejected Kelly's offer at the last minute before the exam. As a result, all the students in the class were admitted to 985 universities, except Kelly, who committed suicide by jumping into the sea because she could not accept the stimulation of getting 400 points. My classmates were furious, and my twin brother David hated me even more, thinking that I had killed Kelly. On the day I became the provincial top scorer, he teamed up with other classmates to kidnap and kill me. Before I died, I saw their distorted faces, accusing me. We can all get into a good school anyway, so what's the big deal if we lose 10 points? Don't think we don't know. You're just afraid that after Kelly gets the points, she'll take your title of number one. You're so selfish. Kelly is dead, you have to pay for her life. After I died, I watched my body being dismembered and fed to wild dogs. I also saw Kelly running into their arms crying, saying aggrievedly that she should not have been so willful as to fake her death and made them worry. They took advantage of my province's top student traffic, fabricated a story about me bullying my classmates, and made Kelly a popular blogger with millions of followers. Fortunately, I was reborn back to the time when Kelly said he wanted to bind the entire class. They don't know that the system's point exchange ratio is actually 10 to 1. They wanted to give Kelly 10 points, but actually they wanted to exchange their 100 points for it. And this time, I will ruin their future and make them never be able to turn things around. The story is about to begin. If you like it, remember to like and follow. Hearing the same words again, the hairs on my body stood up. Kelly, the class darling, was holding the hand of class monitor James and acting coquettishly. Wow, I really don't want to be separated from you. Without you, my entire college life will not be happy. If we were still in the same class in college, and I learned how to dance and sing, Kelly would perform every day to cheer us up, okay? Hearing the same words, the water cup in my hand fell to the ground with a bang. Everyone turned to look at me. My brother David's aggressiveness was particularly obvious. He had the same look in his eyes as when he kidnapped me and wanted to beat me to death with a hammer in my previous life. Sis, everyone agrees. What do you mean by throwing the cup? Kelly's eyes suddenly turned red. Linda, I know you don't like me because you have good grades, but I beg you, please. I really can't leave you. When these words were spoken, many people were moved. Someone immediately said, "That's right, Linda, can you be a little more humane? You and David have the same parents, why are you so cold and heartless? It's just 10 points. We are in the top class. 10 points won't affect our admission to a 985 university. So what's wrong with giving it to Kelly? Linda, stop competing with Kelly here." Kelly was very humble, and she came over to me and begged me, "I know you prefer grades to friendship, but grades are just a cold number to me. The relationship with you is more important to me." I almost couldn't help laughing out loud. If I hadn't been reborn once, I really wouldn't have known that the point exchange system she mentioned was based on a 10 to 1 ratio. She wants 10 points, and everyone gives 100 points. In my previous life, I thought it was outrageous to give people scores, so I rejected the system's request to give scores before the college entrance examination. Obviously, everyone got their own scores and successfully got into 985 universities, but I failed miserably because of this. But their ferocious expressions seemed to still be before my eyes. But this time, I smiled slowly. I agree. Not only do I agree, I also suggest that everyone give Kelly 20 points. If I had scored 100 points less, I might still be able to get into an ordinary undergraduate program. Since they are all so willing, let the whole class go to college happily together. 20 points? Isn't 20 points a bit too much? It might even make a difference in the ranking of an entire school. David walked up to me with half-closed eyes and said, "Linda, what are you thinking? Why would you be so kind as to give Kelly points?" Seeing the vigilance and flash of murderous intent in his eyes, I felt a chill down my spine. Although David liked to hang out with Kelly in his previous life, he would still pretend to be nice to me until the scores came out. When he hit me on the head with a hammer, I still regarded him as my last straw. I grabbed his hand and begged for help. "David, I'm your sister, please don't." I tried to persuade him to stop by using family affection, but he sneered and said, "Sister? You have to die just because you are my sister. Linda, not only are you blocking Kelly's way, you're also blocking me from monopolizing the family property, do you understand? I heard my parents discussing the inheritance, and you, a girl, got the same share as me. You deserve to die." Each time he struck me, he got harder and harder, but the words stuck in my throat never came out. Linda's family protected him so well that he had no idea that he was an adopted orphan. And now, looking at his fierce eyes and abnormal attitude, I am sure that David has been reborn just like me. Speak up. Don't think I don't know you're full of tricks. How could you be so nice to Kelly? Bang. I picked up a book and smashed it directly on David's head. The whole class fell silent. David was stunned after being hit and glared at me with his fists clenched. "Ah, brother David, are you okay?" "Linda, how could you hit someone? What's wrong with me beating my own brother?" "David, you've grown wings, how dare you talk to me like that?" Although he was not convinced, he did not dare to confront me at this time for Kelly's score. So I rolled my eyes at him and looked at Kelly. "How about it, have you considered the 20 points? I know your grades are only 200 or 300 points, and you usually rely on everyone's help to cheat in the exams to stay in this class. Since you want to go to the same school, 20 points is relatively conservative. Then you can write 2 fewer exams and easily get into a 985 school." Although Kelly was unhappy that I said she usually cheated, her eyes lit up when she heard my method. "What a great idea. Linda, do you really agree?" I nodded heavily, of course. Linda went to ask other people for help without saying a word. As expected of the class darling, even if it's just 20 points, he can get it after some coaxing and talking. "Then I'll leave tomorrow's college entrance examination to you all." Her eyes sparkled as she said the softest words, but did the cruelest thing, using the college education of the whole class to pave the way for her own 985 university. Before leaving school, I went to see my teacher and asked for my admission to Tsinghua University back. In my previous life, I naively wanted to prove myself by taking the college entrance examination, which was simply stupid. After filling in my identity information, I felt completely at ease. Before the college entrance examination, David threatened me at home. "Sister, you must agree, otherwise you will die miserably." I sneered, "You too." I concluded that the person in front of me was reborn just like me. After sitting in the examination room, the line of words appeared in front of my eyes again. "Hello host, are you willing to provide Kelly with 20 points of assistance?" I smiled coldly. "I am willing to use all my points to give Kelly 200 points. The system typed out a few question marks and said, "Okay, but your college entrance exam score will be 0. Do you confirm?" "Confirm." I filled up the answer sheet carefully. "So what if I get 0 points? I've been admitted to Tsinghua University. Doesn't Kelly want a high score?" This time, the score is even higher than 750 points. After the college entrance examination, Kelly and the system determined what needed to be divided successfully. But the system seemed to only tell her that everyone agreed to give the score, but did not mention that I gave 200 points. Kelly blushed with excitement. "Yeah. I knew you all loved me the most. Kelly's luckiest thing is meeting you all. When you go to college, it will be Kelly's turn to be everyone's happy pill." Everyone was grinning from ear to ear at Kelly's coaxing, and David never took his eyes off her. David took the initiative to ask, "Which university does Kelly want to go to?" "We are definitely going to follow the happy fruit." "That's right, wherever Kelly goes, we go." "Kelly, Peking University is great, would you like to consider it?" "I think Shanghai University is also good. If you want to go, I can lower my score and go with you." Looking at Kelly tilting her head in thought, I couldn't help but turn around and laugh. "Lower your score? Beijing University or Shanghai University?" Although these people don't have good character, their academic performance is impeccable and they are basically the best candidates for the school. It's a pity that Kelly is not the little white flower they imagined. I went home with a sneer. When the scores come out, this group of people will be able to experience the feeling of falling from the clouds into the mud. All the hard work of 3 years in high school was about to be destroyed by Kelly alone. When I got home, my parents had already prepared gifts for the college entrance examination, the most advanced electronic products on the market, 1 set each for David and me. David was not there, so I said cryptically, "It seems that Mom and Dad really treat David as their own son." My parents looked at each other and realized something was wrong from what I said. "What's wrong? You never allowed me to mention David's identity before, why did you bring it up today? Now that David has come to our family, your father and I will naturally treat him as our own son." After hesitating for a moment, I asked tentatively, "What if David has ambitions and wants to compete with me in the future?" My parents have managed to build a home decoration business to this extent, so they naturally understood what I meant. After a moment of silence, they immediately expressed their position. "If he doesn't fight or grab, you two will each get half of the family property. But if he attacks you, get out of the Linda family." After hearing what my parents said, I finally felt relieved. Sure enough, when David came back that night and saw the same electronic products we had, his face fell. "Mom and Dad, my sister is an idiot for electronic products. It would be a waste to buy her a computer. Why don't you give me my sister's computer? I just happened to be giving it to a friend." I got a vaccination in advance, and my parents' expressions changed quickly. "No. We treat you two equally and fairly, and never show favoritism. David, put away your petty thoughts." David was frustrated, and when he looked at me again, his eyes became even more vicious. I can even be certain that even if Kelly hadn't happened, the wolf David would have attacked me sooner or later. If I were to live my life over again, I would definitely not give him this chance. Since the college entrance examination, Kelly has been hanging out with her classmates, and her circle of friends is flooded with their posts every day. Kelly's family is not well off, but David, the sucker, bears all her expenses. Kelly is spending my family's money and yet she still wants to show off in front of me. "Linda, do you really not want to play with us? We will be classmates for 4 years. It's not good for you to be so unsociable." "Woo, woo, do you hate me?" I clearly didn't do anything wrong, but with just a few words from her, I became the target of criticism from my classmates again. Seeing them pointing fingers at me one by one, I poured a bucket of cold water on them. "The results will be out tomorrow. Can you really continue to have fun?" Everyone fell silent. Even if you are confident about your results, you will inevitably feel nervous while waiting for them. When we went to school to check our grades the next day, everyone had dark circles under their eyes, but they were all unusually excited. My mother has promised me that if I do well in the exam, she will reward me with a trip to Xinjiang for half a month. I'm different. I need good grades to talk to the school about scholarships. By then, my dad's gambling debts will be paid off. Me too. My dad said that if I score above 680 points this time, he will divorce that old woman and marry my mom. I estimated my score to be 702, 20 points less would still be 682, and my mom is already waiting for the wedding. I couldn't help but laugh out loud. I'm afraid all these people's good wishes have been shattered. Not only will it be destroyed, but it may also be irreparable. But some people are dissatisfied with my attitude. Why are you laughing? Linda, I hate your condescending attitude the most. You always disliked Kelly in high school. Didn't you look down on her because she was from an ordinary family? Only your family is rich, and you are the eldest daughter. We are all from the lower class. Is that okay? People like you should never apply to the same school as us. I feel annoyed when I see you. Such words had no offensive power to me, so I nodded calmly. Don't worry, I never planned to go to the same school as you guys. They were so angry with me that David stood up again. Hey sister, you're really good enough. At home, you always think your classmates are poor and don't get as high scores as you do in exams, and you look down on them. But can't you hold yourself back in front of everyone? That's really too much. His words aroused the anger of the crowd. Kelly also stepped forward and asked in a coquettish voice, Student Linda. Family background and test scores are only part of life. Connections are the capital for a long-term future. If you offend everyone, no matter how rich you are or how well you do in the exams, you won't have a good future. I looked at my watch and it was time to check my grades. The pleasure of revenge was greater than anger, and I could not wait to remind him, "You can check it now." As soon as these words were spoken, everyone sat in front of the computer eagerly. Listening to the clacking sound of ID numbers being input, I stood in a perfect position and looked at everyone's face expectantly. I counted down silently in my heart, 3, 2, 1. Holy crap. Are you kidding me? I got 472 points? Is there something wrong with this computer? I estimated the score to be 687, but how come it's only 487? That's not right. I only got over 400 points. How is this possible? David's face also changed suddenly, but his first reaction was to look up at me. "Linda, how many points did you get?" By the way, he has loved competing with me since he was a child. "How many points can I get?" I was admitted to Tsinghua University. I ignored him and exclaimed in surprise. How is it possible that the group score is only over 400? With this score, you can't even find a good college, let alone a 985. The average score of our class is over 680. Is this a collective underperformance? In the panic of failing the college entrance examination, they all forgot to continue targeting me. Some people burst into tears on the spot. "Impossible, I want a rescore, my whole family hopes on me, there is no way I can get only this low a score. If I take this little bit of money home, my mom will definitely break my legs. Woohoo, what should I do? Even if I gave Kelly 20 points, it shouldn't be so miserable." Amid the wailing, Kelly's face almost became hideous because of trying to hold back a smile. Sure enough, from the beginning to the end she never thought about going to the same school with everyone else. These classmates who had spoiled her for 3 years were nothing more than stepping stones for her to climb up. I added meaningfully, everyone's scores were 200 points lower than the average. Why do I feel like they were given 200 points instead of 20 points? As soon as these words came out, everyone looked at Kelly at the same time. One of the students whose family was in the most difficult situation walked up to Kelly and asked awkwardly, "Kelly, how many points did you get?" After all, he was a thief, and with so many eyes watching him, Kelly still felt a little guilty. She subconsciously wanted to block the computer. I haven't found it yet. How could we not find it? The student turned the display screen directly towards himself. After seeing the words on the screen, he exclaimed, "Kelly's scores are unavailable. Her scores have been blocked." Although she is the darling of the class, who can watch someone who was once inferior to her surpass her by a huge margin with her help? No one was happy. I deliberately stabbed them in the heart again. I heard that only the top 50 in the province will have their scores blocked. At this time, Kelly could no longer control the twitch of her lips, and her voice trembled with excitement. I'm in the top 50 in the province, can I go to Tsinghua University? With this score, it's not certain that I'll be the top scorer in the college entrance examination. The student who just went to check the scores said in a low voice, "Why did you, a poor student, get such a high score, while all of us got such low scores?" Even those who usually hold Kelly in high esteem began to doubt her. "Yeah, Kelly, is there something wrong? Why are our scores so low, but you are in the top 50? A bunch of idiots." It wasn't that her score was blocked because it was in the top 50. It was clearly that her score exceeded the total score of the college entrance examination and was judged as abnormal by the system. Facing everyone's questioning, Kelly was still trying to get away with it by pretending to be pitiful. "I don't know what's going on. Is everyone performing poorly? Woo, don't you all want to see me get good grades? Are all your kindness to me fake? Don't you want to see me live a good life?" Faced with real interests, some people still believe her lies, but some people can no longer hold back. What's the point of saying this now? If you got the score by yourself, you would have no problem becoming the top scorer, but you got the score thanks to us. 20 points per person, 30 people means you have at least 600 points. That's fine, but how come each of us has 200 points less on average? Kelly, you. I was watching the show nearby when David, who had been silent the whole time, suddenly stood up with a grim face. Kelly is not to blame for this. Someone must be behind this. As he said this, he looked at me again. Linda, even if you are my biological sister, I can't be biased towards you when something this serious happens. I heard you talking to some system at home, saying something incomprehensible. Did you cheat everyone out of their scores? I laughed out of anger. David can really say anything for the sake of profit. With just 2 sentences, he pushed me to the forefront again, and my classmates became excited. Linda, you are already so rich, why are you still doing this behind our backs? Is it so difficult to give us poor people a way to survive? Hurry up and give me back my points, or I will really die with you. I looked at David calmly and asked coldly, nonsense, you are just talking nonsense. What evidence do you have to prove that I took the points away? Everyone's attention was on me, and no one noticed that Kelly's eyes were shining with excitement. In order to frame me, she immediately shouted, the best way is to prove it with your scores. David's eyes seemed to be filled with poison. Yes, do you dare to show everyone your transcript? We all only scored over 400 points. But if your scores are also blocked, it proves that you stole our scores. Yes. Show us. If you dare to steal my points, I will never forgive you. Hearing this, I smiled, sat down in front of the computer without saying a word, entered my ID number, and pressed the enter key in front of everyone. 0 points? Her score is lower than everyone else's. Could it be that this matter really has nothing to do with her? David was stunned for a moment. How could it be? In order to keep the show going, I pretended to be shocked and shook my body. While no one was paying attention, I sent 2 text messages on my cell phone. In less than a few minutes, a noisy sound of footsteps was heard in the corridor. Immediately afterwards, a group of people rushed into the classroom door. I heard that the top scorer in this year's college entrance examination is from your class. May I ask who is Kelly? Can Kelly be interviewed? My classmates who had once united to snatch the scholarship given to me by the school for Kelly were now silent. Sure enough, they only feel distressed when their own interests are involved. But how could Kelly miss such a good opportunity? She stood up and raised her hand excitedly. I'm Kelly, I do. Reporters swarmed in, all cameras pointed at Kelly. Kelly, as the provincial champion, how do you motivate everyone to study together? Kelly, do you have any learning experiences you can share? You are the pride of number 1 middle school now. Every time the reporter asked a question, the students' faces became darker. She started to teach her study methods without any hesitation, but when she noticed that the students looked unhappy, she changed the subject and directed the focus to me. I just performed normally to get this many points. Linda from our class is the best. Guess how many points she got? The reporters looked at each other. Student Linda, did you get full marks on the test? Kelly burst out laughing. What perfect score. She got 0. I worked so hard to get so many points to raise the average score of our class, but she dragged it down. I find it strange, too. Linda usually has good grades, but she dropped out of the running when it comes to the college entrance exam. In front of so many people, she just opened her mouth. Could it be that the previous high scores were all obtained by cheating? The reporters were about to put the microphone in my face. Before I could say anything, David sighed again. Sister, I've already warned you not to hang out with those second-rate guys outside of school. Are you satisfied with what you've done to yourself? How are you going to explain this to your parents when you get home? I laughed. David really never missed any opportunity to drag me down. No evidence. Who was I fooling around with? What's the name of that second-rate guy? David, you are over 18 years old. You can be held legally responsible for spreading rumors in front of so many people. David paused, then closed his mouth. At the same time, the head teacher also rushed over. Although she didn't understand why Kelly became the top scorer in the college entrance examination, she was very happy at this moment. Congratulations, Kelly. Since you are the top scorer in the college entrance examination, teachers from Peking University and Tsinghua University should be coming to grab you soon. Have you decided which school and major you want to choose? Kelly said without shame, I want to learn the best major and contribute to my country. The head teacher was so moved that he was speechless, and the reporters began the live broadcast. We are now next to the top scorer in the college entrance examination. ready to witness the legendary scene of teachers from Peking University and Tsinghua University snatching the famous students. In places where the camera can't reach, I can finally smile without worry. This is the first time I have seen a top scorer in the college entrance examination with a score of 900. Everyone waited, and after half an hour, there was finally movement in the corridor. Kelly nervously adjusted her clothes, and reporters shouted into the camera. "Here it comes." But under the watchful eyes of everyone, the person who came in was not a teacher from Peking University or Tsinghua University. Instead, it was the principal who brought several policemen. The principal was furious. "Who is Kelly?" Everyone looked at Kelly at the same time. The police understood what was going on and walked over to handcuff her. "Student Kelly, you are suspected of cheating in the college entrance examination. Please come back with us for investigation." Everyone was stunned, but I saw a hint of gloating on more people's faces. Kelly struggled to plead guilty. "Are you mistaken? I am the top scorer in the college entrance examination. How could I plagiarize? Even if I did, it must be someone else who copied me." The police sneered. "Then please tell us. The total score of the college entrance examination is 750 points. How did you manage to get 910 points? Kelly was stunned, and David was also dumbfounded. The reporters were stunned for a moment, then their eyes lit up. After all, there are top scorers in the college entrance examination every year, but those with scores of 910 or 10 are rare. "Kelly, it turns out that your score is not displayed because it is abnormal. How did you do that? Cheating in the college entrance examination is illegal, did you know that?" Kelly kept shouting it's impossible until she was taken away. "How can there be so many points? The maximum is only 700 points. I have already calculated it. You guys caught the wrong person, there might be another Kelly. Let me go, I'm the top scorer in the college entrance examination." The principal was so angry that he held his heart and gasped for breath. "This bad student must be expelled from school immediately. Our school's reputation of more than 20 years has been ruined by her." The students were still in a daze and hadn't recovered yet. But someone still snorted coldly, "Serves you right. So what should we do now? Can we apply to retake the exam? I really can't explain this score when I get home. What kind of evil tricks did Kelly use? Who can save me? My parents have been farmers all their lives and they are counting on me to succeed in the college entrance examination." For a moment, everyone was extremely disgusted with Kelly. Oh no. Except for David, my younger brother who is Kelly's #1 bootlicker. I don't believe Kelly would do anything to let us down. Now it's clear that she is also a victim. David walked right up to me. "Linda, what on earth did you do?" I didn't get angry but laughed. "David, I should be the one asking you this. I am obviously your relative, why do you always stand on Kelly's side and frame me again and again?" Veins popped out on his forehead, "Because I know you can't give Kelly a grade honestly. She is obviously very pitiful, why do you always have to make things difficult for her?" David still wants to use the same old methods to arouse public outrage and attack me. But he forgot that no one was on Kelly's side now. Not only did no one speak up for him, but everyone stared at him with strange eyes. "David, we have been victimized to such an extent, and you are still lying with your eyes open. Are you and Kelly deceiving us together?" "That's right. We just saw Linda's results. She scored the lowest among everyone. You haven't told me how many points you got in the test this time. 510? Why do you have so much more than us?" David suddenly became the target of public criticism and had no time to attack me. He was surrounded and questioned, while I walked home leisurely. Now it's just a preliminary victory. Just like in their previous life, they will not give up. David's whole heart is devoted to Kelly. As soon as he got home, he kicked my door hard. "Linda, come out here. Don't think I don't know it was you who did it. I just don't have any evidence right now. When I get the evidence, believe it or not, I will kill you." "I believe it." "Why not? After all, he was the one who tricked me into going out and kidnapping me in my previous life. But this time, I also learned Kelly's method of pretending to be weak." I looked pitifully at my parents who were sitting in my room. "Mom and Dad, David really needs to be taken care of." My father was so angry that his face turned red. Without saying a word, he stood up, opened the door, and slapped David hard in the face. David was hit so hard that he staggered 2 steps and barely stood still. His subconscious reaction was to raise his fist to fight back, but he froze when he saw his parents. Dad, Mom? You guys, shouldn't you be in the company at this time? Why are you? My dad hit him hard twice. I wasn't home, and I didn't know that this is how you usually bully Linda. David, who gave you the guts to say that? Who do you want to kill, huh? He didn't dare to do anything else in front of his parents and could only accept the punishment. The adopted son had evil intentions and even bullied his own daughter. My parents were really angry. My dad used family rules to beat him up severely and then locked him up for 3 days before letting him out. Apologize to your sister. David glanced at me, his eyes still filled with indignation. I'm sorry, sis. I nodded casually, looking like I wasn't bothered to pursue the matter. During these 3 days, Kelly has become a big figure among candidates across the country and is the topic of conversation for everyone. If I remember correctly, today should be the day Kelly was released. She has to continue to act like a demon and the show has to go on. How could it be possible without David's cooperation? This time, I decided to strike first. The classmates only scored more than 400 points, and now they are all very worried. So I issued a call in the group. We are in the class of top students. Even if we don't perform well, it's impossible for our grades to be so much lower than usual. Is there anyone willing to apply for a grade review with me? Those people didn't like me before, but they started to agree with me when I said this. I want to apply. I can't believe I only have this little score. I must find out what's going on. David tried to stop her. The college entrance examination scores are already out. It's useless to review them. Instead of worrying about this, you might as well prepare to repeat the exam next year. This time it's finally my turn to slander him. I at David in the group, you are being so hesitant. Could it be that you have tampered with this and caused everyone to get such a low score? David was so angry that he started to curse me and I went with everyone else to apply for a review of my scores. When Kelly was released, we had all returned and happened to bump into Kelly. This time I didn't have to say anything. Everyone was shouting questions at Kelly. Kelly, why did you lie to us like this? We all checked our answer sheets and all the answers were correct, but why did the score change from 600 to 400? How many points did you take away from us? Kelly, who was about to question something, was stunned and swallowed his words back. She looked at everyone with an innocent look on her face. What are you talking about? I don't understand a single word. David was also anxious and said, don't let Linda brainwash you. Kelly is just a little girl who knows nothing. How can she lower your scores? I asked back with a curled lip corner, if 20 points can be exchanged, how difficult is 200 points? That's right. Kelly, we are so nice to you all the time, but you are a venomous snake. You actually bit us hard at the most critical moment. Give us our grades back, I want to go to college. Some people were so excited that they rushed up and grabbed Kelly's hair and tore it. Give my points back to me. My mom was so angry about this that she was hospitalized. Give them back to me. I watched coldly, thinking to myself that he deserved it. Everyone deserves it. I helped them in my previous life, and they stood on the moral high ground and called me petty. Now that they are asked to go to college, they are unwilling to do so. I thought Kelly was done for, but she suddenly burst into tears. I am also a victim of this incident. Why do you believe Linda and not me? Do you really want me to die to prove my innocence? Fine, I'll die in front of you. Linda, you forced me to do all this. She turned around and ran to the rooftop of the nearest building. David was stunned for a moment, his face flushed with anxiety. What are you still standing there for? Chase after her. If anything happens to Kelly, you will all be murderers. After all, he was the one who had been the class favorite for so long. After hesitating for a while, the group of people rushed to the rooftop again. I followed slowly. Faking death and threatening death. It's still the same method as in the previous life. Kelly stood on the rooftop, swaying, her red eyes looking utterly broken. I am so disappointed in you. We have been classmates for 3 years, but you are unwilling to even listen to me. David cooperated with her very well and said quickly, we're listening. Tell us what's going on. Whenever someone wanted to speak, David would turn around and yell at them, "Do you really want to take someone's life?" I stood behind the crowd and silently put my phone in my pocket. Kelly started to accuse me while crying. "It's all Linda's fault, Linda. Why did you do this to me? We agreed to give me 20 points each, but you suddenly changed your mind and gave me 200 points in the exam room. You changed the rules of the system. The original 1-to-1 score suddenly became 10-to-1. Everyone gave me 20 points, but they had to deduct 200 points from themselves. And because of your 200 points, my score became 900 points. Everyone judged me as cheating. You are obviously the culprit behind this, woo-woo-woo, but now I am the sinner. I really don't want to live anymore." After saying that, the students who were just filled with anger towards Kelly all looked at me with sinister eyes. I would say that these people do not deserve help in any way. "Linda, it turns out that you are the one who did all this. You made us score only 400 points, and Kelly couldn't take the college entrance examination for 3 years. What on earth are you thinking? What good will this do for you?" I laughed. "Yeah, what good is that to me? Why do you believe her when she says that?" David waved his hand. "Everyone is asking you now. Don't think you can get away with it with just a few words." "That's right. Between you and Kelly, we trust Kelly more. Aren't you just jealous that we all pamper Kelly, so you did this on purpose?" Kelly complained tearfully, "You are a young lady. It doesn't matter if you get 0 points in the exam. You can repeat the year if you want to, and go abroad if you want to. You are not like ordinary people like us. Woo-woo, if you have any misunderstandings about me, just come to me. Why do you want to ruin the future of the whole class?" Looking at everyone's increasingly fierce eyes, a chill flashed in my eyes. I just asked slowly, "The system is hers, did she really not know that the ratio was 10-to-1? Do you believe this nonsense? Stop talking nonsense." David approached me step by step. "The one who should be damned is not Kelly, but you. If you do something wrong, you should be punished even if you are my biological sister. David, what do you want to do?" I looked at him in pretend fear, and David turned around and looked at everyone. "I just checked, there is no surveillance here. We have already come to the rooftop, someone has to die, sister, after all, it was you who did something wrong." The students were silent for a moment, but soon someone agreed. "That's right. You ruined our future, so you deserve to die. Linda, repent for what you have done." The wind on the rooftop was so strong that it's understandable that someone accidentally fell off. "Do you want to jump yourself, or do you want us to throw you in?" Just like in my previous life, everyone was approaching me step by step. David's face was grim. "Kelly will live well no matter what. You just go and die. I will live well for you." As soon as he finished speaking, the door to the rooftop was kicked open. My parents and the police swarmed in, and my dad kicked David in the stomach without saying a word. He was unable to react in time and fell to the ground in pain, unable to stand up. "You beast, our family has been so good to you, and you actually want to kill your sister, why the hell don't you just go die? You son of a bitch, I should have let you die outside." The rest of the people were arrested before they could even react to what was happening. Kelly, who originally wanted to jump off the building, was also pinned to the ground by the police. My dad was not satisfied with just one kick and wanted to continue beating the guy but was stopped by the police. After David recovered, he actually shed tears. "Why are you here? I knew you only love Linda and not me. We are both your children, but you actually called the police to arrest me. Do you know that if I call the police my life will be ruined? You are just partial. You favor a little girl and don't care about my son. Why?" My mother was so angry that she raised her hand and slapped him. "Because you are not our biological child. You are our adopted child. For so many years, Linda has always let us treat you as our own. It is you who are greedy and want to do something to Linda." After hearing this, David was stunned. He was unwilling to accept this fact and shook his head frantically to deny it. But my mother directly took out the adoption photos from her phone. "If Linda hadn't passed by the orphanage and felt sorry for you, you would still be an unwanted child now." David was deeply shocked and kept shaking his head and muttering to himself. On the other side, Kelly and others were also struggling frantically. "Why did you arrest me? Why? We didn't do anything. I smiled and took out my phone, revealing the screen where I was live streaming. I'm sorry, your words about wanting to throw me off the building have been heard by netizens all over the country. The police looked at them coldly. They are all students who just finished the college entrance examination. How can they be so evil-minded? Take them all back. Unable to struggle any longer, everyone started howling in despair. Linda, don't be so proud. You got 0 points in the college entrance exam. Even if we go to junior college, you can't beat us. I laughed and thought to myself. So what if I scored 0 in the college entrance examination? I didn't need a score to be admitted. Although those people were taken away, they were soon released because they had not actually committed any crime. But they have become famous on the internet. When I came out again, I was cursed everywhere. Some netizens were even so angry that they dug out their personal information, and some even went to their homes to cause trouble. Kelly was forced to stay in the local area. Under pressure from reality, they had no choice but to come and apologize to me collectively. Kelly still spoke softly. Everyone makes mistakes sometimes, miss, please leave us a way out. Others followed suit and said, Linda, please forgive us. The police have already released us. Why are you still forcing us? We have been classmates for 3 years after all. Can you really bear it? You have to repeat the year even if you get 0 points. How about we stay classmates for another year? Then we can go to a 985 university together. I laughed. Who said I didn't get any lessons because I got 0 points? They were stunned. Where else can you go with 0 points? No matter how rich your family is, you can't do this. I took out my admission letter from Tsinghua University. I'm sorry, I have to take back the previous recommendation quota. The college entrance examination is just for fun with you guys. What? Kelly was the first to react, she screamed. You took the college entrance exam just to give me 200 points, right? You just want to destroy me. I smiled and nodded. That's right. She rushed towards me as if she was irritated, but I swung my arm and slapped her in the face. You're still pretending even at this time. You knew from the moment the points were exchanged that the ratio was 10-1. From the beginning, you just wanted to step on them to climb up. When these words were spoken, everyone was stunned. Really? She already knew the exchange ratio? Kelly, I'm going to fight you. But before they could do anything, Kelly went crazy first. She pulled a knife from her bosom and stared at me madly. If you don't let me live well, you will die too. They want me to have no way to avoid it, but this is at the doorstep of my house and there are bodyguards. At the critical moment, I was dragged out by the bodyguard. Kelly failed to put away the knife in time and the dagger pierced David's heart directly. The crowd dispersed in fear. David fell to the ground on the spot, and Kelly was so scared that her whole body was stiff. David, I don't want to kill you. I laughed and called 110. Kelly was successfully imprisoned and sentenced to life imprisonment for intentional homicide. David died at my doorstep. When my parents came back, they just took a look at his body and sent it to the crematorium without even going to take the ashes. Those students originally wanted to go to college, but were rejected by all schools because of their bad reputation. And I was successfully admitted to Tsinghua University 2 months later. Those scumbags, just wait to rot.